So I wanted to head down the foundation real quick, and I wanted to open up the last lever. You'll see what I mean, by the way, when I say that today was basically... Right. I took the elevator down. Well, that's embarrassing. Well, you guys get what I'm saying, though. How's it going, everyone? This is Gale Hall Gaming, and welcome back to some more Blueprints. Now, I know I said last video that if I heard something from anyone that we would stop this series, I would. However, no one said shit, so I'm gonna continue it until someone tells me stop. I might try editing it down a little bit more just so that I show the real important puzzles, but for right now, we're gonna keep going, because there's some stuff that unlocks only after you've completed the initial challenge of getting to room 46. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Tell you what, this new job has me exhausted sometimes. I'm recording this on Saturday, of course. My recording days have shifted mostly to weekends, but yeah, I'm just getting used to it. It's a lot of walking because I work for a paper mill now, so like my job is to go like check on each of the analyzers they have in there, and it's a fucking hike. I'd say it's about a 3-mile circuit. Well, hold on. I'm not getting any music. Oh no, there we go. We do have music. It's just very subtle. Yeah, the next day. So, when you do officially get to room 46, you have two things waiting for you. First off, the inheritance trophy for reaching room 46. This is your first trophy, more than likely. There are a couple trophies you can get before this, but this will likely be your first. This is important for a puzzle later on that you're going to need. Just keep this in mind going forward. But yeah, the inheritance trophy in recognition of completing your bequest. And then we have the letter. So I have an email. Okay, just making sure it wasn't from work. Open only in the event of inheritance. Dear Baron, welcome to Mount Holly, your home. I still remember the first time I was addressed by my title. I was quite a bit older than you, but it still felt strange, especially after a lifetime of hearing my father addressed daily by that same title. But life is a journey of growth. Growing up, growing older, growing wiser, and in our case, growing into the Baron of Reddington. The Baron doesn't have to be a daunting figure. He could be quiet and unassuming, or loud, brash, and boisterous. He could be deceptive or trustworthy, humble or boastful, or any measure of other things, but always clever. When I inherited Mount Holly, I never had to prove myself. They just gave me the keys and left it at that. It felt too easy, too trivial, and very undeserved. Experience comes with time, but without validation, I spent the better part of my youth questioning myself. And as I grew older, that lack of conviction and aimlessness amplified. I never really had any goals or objectives to strive toward. I never had any dreams to realize. I never set my sights on something beyond the horizon. I never had a room 46 to reach. And now that you have reached your goal and are basking in your well-deserved glory, shiny trophy in hand and showered with accolades and titles, will you be content to stop there? Or will you look to the horizon and wonder what dreams lie ahead? Ovin Nevare, Herbert S. Sinclair. This is very interesting that he uses this particular set of words. This is a foreign language in the game. I will explain it more when we get to a later on puzzle, because we're going to need this for later. But this sentiment is what I expressed near the end of last episode. The idea that I could be satisfied with just getting room 46, but there are more puzzles to solve in this manner. And I do intend to solve at least the majority of them. I'm still working towards some of them myself in my personal playthrough, but just keep that in mind as we move forward. Second off, You get this, the Trophies of Mount Holly, a recognition of outstanding excellence. This is a list of every trophy in the game. All of these are something you can do. Some of these are harder than others, like the Bullseye Trophy and the Logical Trophy are both really easy to do. The Full House Trophy is a little tricky, but you can get it pretty easily. Explorer's Trophy does require a bit of puzzle solving. Once you have the full room inventory, it's fairly easy as well. But some of these, Trophy of Sigils. This is one of the longest, what I would consider mid-game puzzles in the entire game. It is ridiculous, the depth of information you need to know going into this trophy in order to get it. Trophy of Wealth is insanely hard to do because you need hundreds upon hundreds of gold to get it. Day 1 and Trophy of Speed Trophy you can get on the same one, but reaching room 46 on day 1 is extremely difficult. Curse Trophy, I've unlocked Curse Mode. Curse Mode is a bitch. So if you don't know, Curse Mode is sort of a temporary modifier you can put in your base game as well. If you draft the Shrine, which is an outer room, like out on the west path that we found earlier, if you draft the Shrine, give it money, and then take that money back, you get Cursed. And what Curse does is it makes it so that certain rooms have different effects, basically always draining your resources. I believe it's if you draft a hallway, you lose 1 key, like one of the orange rooms. If you draft a green room, you lose a gem. A yellow room, you lose a coin. A purple room, you lose a step. And red rooms, you lose all of them. So yeah, it is insane how difficult that one is. Dare Bird Trophy, reach room 46 in Dare mode. I've also unlocked Dare mode. That one's also kind of tricky to get, but it all depends on what dares you get. Just a whole bunch of stuff that you can do. The Trophy of Invention, I've actually been struggling quite a bit with this one because you need very particular items and a particular room. Drafting Strategy Sweepstakes, this is also a very tricky one just because the way you get this one is you draft 20 dead-end rooms in your house, and it will be in the 20th dead-end room you draft. It is very difficult to get, but still, it's difficult to get, but at the same time, it's possible to get. And then Trophy 8, we'll get into that when we find a certain room that only now unlocked, because there are also rooms that you unlock following getting room 46 that you can't get before now. I believe one of them is something we're going to find right here. Yep. So the way this works is you will always find the Mount Holly gift shop on the next day after getting room 46, and it will always be a part of the first draft pool. We'll get into that later. For right now, I do want to grab coat check. Oh, actually, we don't have anything in here, do we? Shit. I thought we had the jackhammer checked. Also, give me one moment, everyone. Just a message from work. The mill's having some issues, but they're running it off of remote controls right now. Anyway, I'm not sure how much I can really talk about the mill in these videos. I'm going to try not to refer to it too often because I'm not sure how much I can really talk about it, but let's go ahead and keep going in today's rooms. I do want to do lab, but I want to do lab in a very particular way. So let's see if we can't... Because the reason why I'm wanting lab is for a puzzle related to the laboratory. It's a room that we need to unlock. So let's go ahead and do our experiment setup, but this isn't really to what we're doing. Whenever you draft a shop room, add 1 gold to allowance. We have never gotten an allowance for the entire time we've been playing this, so this will be useful. Alright. And the unfortunate thing is I'm going to need to draft this because this is the only thing that maintains vents. So already we're hurting for steps, but we'll make it work. Let's do den here, get some gems. Or get a gem. Veranda here is pretty good, actually. We do lose the gems that we just got, but veranda is always a great room to draft. I think we need to do nursery here. Normally, I don't like doing... I don't like spending the gem on nursery unless I'm doing, like, curse mode. Because holy hell is it useful in curse mode. But... I think that's the best choice there, because A, it's a dead end anyway, and B... Well, I mean, we could have gotten the other one, but... We'll do storeroom here because we're hurting on gems a little bit. Normally I would have drafted garage there to get keys, but... Okay, we can do security here. Or just do a chapel. Let's do a chapel here, and then we'll back up and grab this door. We are not doing the archives. We'll grab laundry room here. This will add to our allowance. And we'll head this way. There's no reason for us to go into the laundry room. There's nothing for us in there. Actually, I think I fucked it up. Yeah, because now we don't have anything to connect to lab. Oh, well, that's going to be another day then. That's sort of the approach you have to come at this game with, is some puzzles you're not going to be able to solve until a day reset. Box next to this box contains gems. Box next to this box is true. Box next to this box is false. So if this box is true, then this would be false. But then that'd make a loop. So this has to be false, meaning that this one has to be true. False, true. This one has to be true. Box next to this one contains the gems. This box has to contain the gems. If you guys ever can follow my logic on those, you're already really well prepped for this game. I speak a mile a minute already, and those puzzles are not the easiest to follow at times. So if you can follow my logic on them, you're doing good. Also, metal detector is nice here. And we get the smorgasbord. So the reason I call that chest like the smorgasbord is just because it gives you basically the same that you'd get from a storeroom plus 2 coins. You're basically getting a whole room for free. We have to get the drafting room here, or the drawing room. Because otherwise we just lock ourselves out. There's also coins in this room. Hello. There is still the puzzle in here, but again, we technically don't know how to solve it, so we're going to leave it be for now. Ooh. Observatory is actually pretty nice here. Especially if we can get a T-junction at the end. I guess we are only at 7 stars. So the Farmer's Apple is one of my less favorite constellations. Just because it doesn't have much of an effect depending on your luck. Also, god damn it. The Farmer's Apple depends entirely upon whether or not you can get a lot of apples. And granted, apples are very handy, but they're also very random. Anywhere a fruit can spawn, you can get either an apple, an orange, or a banana. And typically, apples are actually the worst option. But getting stuff like that, the Farmer's Apple constellation... Actually, we'll grab billiard room here. You're running real low on steps, though, ladies and gentlemen. So where the hell's the coin in here? Where's it? Oh, it's a key in here. That's even more handy. Alright, 13. 15 minus 13 is 2, times 3 is 6. 16 minus 6 is 10, times 20 is 200, divided by 10 is 20. 10 minus 4 minus 2 is 4, times 2, and then so these two cancel, so we just have 4. Hey, silver key. So silver keys are very handy. I want to use... If we can get up to the foundation, I'd like to use it going out of that. Dining room here. Which unfortunately isn't the greatest at the moment. That's a hell of a... Trophy room's another one that only spawns after you've gotten room 46. It's basically a way to cash in on having a lot of gems. But for right now, not very useful to us. However, bedroom closet right here, that's very handy. Rabbit's foot, gemstone, dye, and a compass. Right, we gain the steps back for going through bedroom. We need to head back up through billiard room. Okay, we'll do this because this gives us more steps as well. And it gives us a key. Morning room, give us some more gems. Now if we get the trophy room again, we'll be able to actually utilize it. Plus the veranda gives us more items in here, so... Grab. And now we hope for a turn to the right. The hallway will work, but I don't want to flood my next day. That'll work. Plus this raises our allowance. I do wish we had one more coin, because that shovel would be very handy right now. We'll do guest bedroom here. So there is an item. There's car keys. Not that I think we'll be able to use them, but you never know. Okay, let's do spare hole here. We do not have the steps to spare for a gymnasium. I keep hoping for a locked door, and it's not giving me it. Let's do workshop. Okay, we have a battery pack. Now we just need the lever, and we can get the power hammer, which will actually be very handy. Can also do compass and battery pack. Yeah, that makes the electromagnet. We don't want to use up the metal detector unless we have to, though. So the idea is we're wanting to... Okay, why is nowhere locked? This is actually driving me crazy. I wanted to use the silver key and the game's not letting me. And of course, the one door I wanted to... Game, you're being an asshole right about now. We'll get that so that we get coins. Alright, keycard system. Keycard system settings. Set security level. Set security level to low. Change the offline mode. Do unlocked. And we leave. Because there's nothing else we really need to do here. Yeah. We basically lost all 4 of these rooms. There was something in the hall, but I wasn't sure if it was in the hall or in the foundation. It's fine. Let's go ahead and grab the shovel. And hopefully, on our way back... Oh, hey, coupon book. I didn't even see that. That would have been useful. Okay, yeah, we can grab dinner in the dining room here real quick. Would have been nice if we had the trophy room, but, well. Can never control what you draft. I mean, you can to a certain extent, but you can't control when you draft it. So we need to get back up here, so up, left, up, right, up, left, left. By the way, I was mentioning earlier dare mode. One of the dares you can get in dare mode is to not pick up the blueprint on the table. And it will actually affect the day. And it will affect your whole run. You won't be able to check the map like I just did. That is actually very handy. I will take a turnip right about now. Coin, which we're going to just lose to the chapel anyway when we go back that way. And a can. Alright, we got 2 dice. Actually, let's use the silver key here. Yeah, because that guarantees we get the pool. Which usually has some decent items in it. That time was just a banana, though. God damn it with these keycard doors. We've seen the 2, though, so we shouldn't have any more keycard doors to worry about. We'll do the music room here. Get the secret garden key. And the standard key. And apparently there's some stuff in here still, because my metal detector's still going off. Oh, there we go. Coin. Denoted in verse. Okay. I'm not entirely sure what that means, but if y'all are music lovers, let me know what that means. I genuinely don't know. The most music I've done is like theater and a little bit of band and choir growing up. Okay, we can't use the secret garden key here, but you know what? If it's locked, we're able to use the secret garden key and not even fucking worry about it. Yes, so whenever you get a dark room, you can guarantee... If you can guarantee what room lies beyond it, you're good. Hello! Okay, that's going to be very handy. That's actually going to be extremely handy if we have enough steps. And the reason I say that is because we're going to be able to get the power hammer. So let's go ahead and pull this. Which is also very handy if we get the room layout we want. We could try for it just going from up here. Or I think we need to do the walk-in closet here to hope for keys. There's a vault key and a salt shaker. Basically got back our investment and then some, but it wasn't much we got back. Okay, good. I think we're good. Yeah, this gets us into the antechamber in here, which also... Oh, no, never mind. We don't have the thing open. Does give us a basement key, though. Alright, let's head back the other way. Now that we have what we need. And now we just gotta pray that we have enough steps to make it. Actually, I think the Secret Garden's other effect... Because the other effect of the Secret Garden that I never realized until recently is that it spreads fruit through the house. That is so unbelievably handy right now. That's gonna sustain us all the way back. Yeah, because another thing with, like, spreading items, it will spread more the more rooms you have in your house. Trying to see if anyone had, like, a gem snack. Doesn't look like it. Anything in here? Nope. Alright. Usually it's over here, but it's not. Okay, nothing in here. There we go, there's some more. Could also grab magnifying glass, get the burning glass real quick. Should actually be fairly useful to us as well, because there's another thing outside that I'm wanting to grab real quick. Oh, also we can check out what the hell this was. Just a coin. Alright, let's get to work. Also, hello, Apple. So, sledgehammer, battery pack, lever. Make the power hammer. And now, magnifying glass and metal detector, make the burning glass. And then, why the hell not, we'll do coin purse and lucky rabbit's foot to make the lucky purse. This is actually an item I've never made before. I don't know the effect of it. I just know the recipe. Doubles all the money you find. God damn, okay. Yeah, I can see why that's useful. Alright, but anyway. We have a few options, and actually, I think I know the shortest route. Yes, if we take basement, we'll actually get there faster. Thank you, game, for being so generous with the steps. I halved my step count at the start of the day, and you couldn't tell. Alright, but anyway, like I said, the shortest path to where we're wanting to go is through the basement. So, let's see what we can get. By the way, y'all don't want to know how long it took me to realize in the foundation down here that there was an upgrade disc right here. It's almost embarrassing. Alright. I guess we technically didn't need the basement key, but... oh well, we had it. And I do remember we need to push this out. We can always fix it later. Two things. And actually, I don't know if I've shown this on the video, but there is a buried floor plan in here. And actually, we'll go ahead and grab it. I'll just show you where it is. So over here, the way you see it on the map is by using magnifying glass on one of the maps of the underground. It's right around... yep, there we go. Funnily enough, it's the lost and found in one of the strangest locations in the game. And second off, now that we have the power hammer, we can get through here. And if you don't know where this is, let me just punch through these boards real quick. Welcome outside, everybody. This shortcut has saved me so much time on later days because you know what this is? This is a way to get the final door to room 46 open immediately. This is a path into the basement, into the reservoir, everything you need underground without ever getting to the antechamber. It's so insanely useful. I love it. But the other thing I wanted to do while I was out here is, now that we have the burning glass, we can go in here into the tunnel and actually get another new floor plan. Because, light up, we have the tunnel. The tunnel is interesting in that when you're drafting from the tunnel, you will always draw another copy of tunnel. Very useful in certain circumstances. I don't really like it all that much, but it is a straight room and it's free, so. Now we have another excavation log. The complete manifest for all the excavation equipment has been rigorously checked and delivered to the upper branch. After tomorrow, the site will be sealed and all remaining hardware will be packed up and transported to the original access tunnel for long-term storage. It's unclear if they will also seal that tunnel after our crew is left, but I suspect they may want to keep ready access to the gear, especially now that they've begun operations in the East Mine. A month ago, I believed that the discovery of gemstones in that cavern was directly linked to the closure of this site, but now I'm not so sure. Baron doesn't seem the type to value shiny baubles over history. So these logs are interesting. They tell basically the story of like Mount Holly being built and a lot of the like underground areas being built. They talk about the reservoir in them, I know. A whole bunch of interesting stuff. Nothing really pertains to what we're doing right now, but later on it will. I feel like I say that a lot in this game. Just later on, later on, later on. But anyway, let's go ahead and head in here. Now this is something I actually haven't done in my playthroughs because I avoid the weight room almost as much as I avoid the archives. But there is also a hammerable wall in the weight room. And that gives you another antechamber lever and a few other things. The destruction of structural elements of the house like walls is not permanent and will reset every few days. Remember, red memo is false. Every time you break a wall, it is permanently open. Also, this gives you a little scrap of paper. That's a map of the underground. This shows the big like rotunda wheel in the middle, as well as the catacombs over here and the elevator right there. So basically this is like the north section of the underground. We'll go ahead and pull this. I don't know if there's much use to pulling it, but we'll do it. Why not? The other thing, and actually, do I have the steps to go there? I mean, if we grab this apple, we might. This will give us a profit of like 4 steps. Up this way. Over, and then we got like, we basically have like a snaking path to go through. Screw you. It's up here. The secret garden also has a hammerable wall, and once I do this, the power hammer doesn't serve much of a purpose. But what this does is it makes the secret garden key to 2 of the antechamber doors. Because now we can turn all of these handles we turn them all to east, we will see another lever pop up. There we go. And now we have opened all antechamber doors except the north one. So consider this episode basically a guide to mobility through the house, I guess. That's the best way I can describe it. Because everything we're doing today is just to make the house easier to navigate on later days. Actually, I suppose we could, now that we have this door open. I guess we don't have any keys. Let's get as much steps as we can with what we have, and then let's head this way. So I wanted to head down the foundation real quick, and I wanted to open up the last lever. You'll see what I mean, by the way, when I say that today was basically... Right. I took the elevator down. Well, that's embarrassing. Well, you guys get what I'm saying, though. Is there anything else I'm wanting to do today? Yes. We're gonna check the lucky person to the coat check. That way we have that on later days, because that doubling of money is gonna be very handy later on. And then we'll move on to the next day. Because I don't think there's anything else we can really do for today. We've done a lot, granted, but there's not much else we can do. Alright. Check the... Guess we could also check the basement key, but that's not much use. Lucky purse. Alright, and now we should be good to end the day. Call it a day. Yeah, that's a lot of the stuff that shows up after you complete room 46. Now, granted, we are still going to have a lot of work ahead of us. Specifically, I'm wanting to get into the room 46 again, and that's why I was wanting to... I mean, I guess I could have tried, but eh. Save and continue. I'm really hoping for another upgrade disc, because there is a particular upgrade for the billiard room that I'm wanting to get that is very, very good. Also, here's the allowance we were talking about. It's basically just a little bit of coin to start the day, and we also get a note from Ann Babbage, the house manager. Master Simon, good morning. It has come to my attention that you've been granted a daily allowance to use while on the estate. If it is convenient for you, I will leave the required sum here in the entrance hall each morning. If there is anything else you require, please do not hesitate to ask. Even though we all have been requested to remove ourselves from the premises during your stay, I can assure you I am still personally overseeing that the estate is at least operating at a baseline standard of service that I hope you will one day come to expect of us. Ann Babbage, house manager. I do appreciate that, Ann. I appreciate you doing your job still. It's honestly a huge help. Do breakfast nook here, just to get the early key steps and morning pool to the draft pool, or morning room to the draft pool. A chapel here. We always do the negative rooms first. West Wing Hall, just to give us the most options. And a storeroom. Okay, so we're actually doing pretty solid on resources at the moment. And you'll see as the days go by, we get a lot more secure in resources, I guess would be the right way of saying it. Because it becomes a lot easier to, A, save resources. There are certain ways to like reduce the cost of rooms, or just get more gems, get more coins, get more keys. Yeah, you can get to a point where resources are basically suggestion in this game, and a lot of it is like combinations of certain rooms. Like I know you can get a lot of really good combos with... Oh, why am I blanking? Laundry room. Laundry room is insane sometimes, just given the way that it functions. Like you can get some crazy shit. We don't currently have anything, so there's no reason for us not to go in here. Thank you for the upgrade disc. Secret garden key, and we also have this. So this is the first example of something called a Morajai box I believe we've encountered during our entire gameplay here. These are interesting in that they're sort of mini puzzles in the game. Some of them are actually pretty tricky. But I think I just about have this one solved. Yep, there we go. Basically, you just have to make all four corners the same color. And that gives us an allowance token, which adds 2 to our allowance. But anyway, now that we have another upgrade disc, and the secret garden key is very handy as well. Let's go ahead and pop that here, actually. Hello, broken lever. Always handy to see these. No shovel, though, so we can't really make use of that. But we do have our antechamber levers over here. So let's go ahead and pop these open. Now, this is another thing. You'll see as we go through the game that it becomes a lot easier to get to room 46 the further you go. And it's why day 1 runs are actually very difficult. I'd still consider curse runs the most difficult run in the game, but day 1 runs are something else. Because there's a lot of like little things that you're never gonna get. A lot of things in this game rely on permanent progress. One of the big things is if you're trying to do a day one run, you're never going to have apple orchard, so you have 20 less steps to work with. You're never going to have gem mine, so you have 2 less gems to work with. It's insanely difficult to actually get it, and you need very specific room setups too, because you need the tomb. You need to get very specific rooms up above. Another path you could try to take is getting the power hammer and getting in the way I showed you earlier, but even that's a little iffy. Ooh, attic here. I do like that. Attic is, I believe, another room that won't show up until after you've reached room 46 once. I could be wrong on that, though, but very handy room to have nonetheless, as it will always give you 8 items, which that was number 5, so we should have 6, 7, and they do consider, unfortunately, chests to be 8. But usually these have more items in them than you'd expect, so yeah, we basically just got back our keys. We also have a note here. Dear Miss Marigold, thank you so much for giving our editors the opportunity to consider your illustrated children's book, The Red Prince. Unfortunately, I regret that we have come to the conclusion that although the illustrations are wonderful, we do not think the material is a good fit with Ruffington's current catalog and therefore will not be pursuing a partnership at this time. If you provide us with a return envelope, your manuscript will be returned to you. Otherwise, it has been recycled. Thank you again for thinking of us here at Ruffington, and do not be discouraged to submit any work you complete in the future. We wish you every success in finding a home for your book. Thomas Yanders, editor, Ruffington Red Publishing, Children's Book Department, 205 Conqueta Court, and then zip code. Change the ending to political. Now, we have seen The Red Prince before, and I will tell you that it is a very political book, knowing the lore of the game. We don't know exactly how political it is, though. That's something we'll have to get into later. For right now, though, let's keep going. We'll draft the pool here, get the pump room. And actually, the main thing I'm after is the boiler room, now I think about it. That ballroom would actually be nice here, but we'll do bedroom closet, just get another dead end out the way. Yeah, unfortunately we didn't have the gems to get ballroom, otherwise we would have taken that one. Hello, foyer. Well, I mean, we already have... Foyer I used to think was like a necessity for runs, but now that I've gotten a little better at the game, I've realized that you don't need the Grand Hall to get into room 46 easily. There are plenty of other ways to do it. By the way, I'm not going over the math, because I figure by now you've got onto the pattern. 21 minus 1 is 20, times 5 is 100, divided by 10 is 10. Thank you for the silver key. Well, let's see if we can't find a good place to use it. We aren't going to use it here because we'd have an entrance blocked off anyway. Commissary. And actually, this up here would be a great place to use it. Won that sledgehammer now. Wait, fuck, I fucked it up. That's fine. Also, give me a second, I'm getting a call. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen, just something with work. It's all good now, though. With Secret Passage, I think I've already said this, I highly recommend anytime you can, pick the green. It'll make your life so much easier. Yeah, you can see aquarium, the Coskets. Coskets bypassed. So now we're basically already into the antechamber. Use a key here, why not? That's why not. I would have loved to get lab there. Pump room, though, is very nice. And we can't get any further that way. But this does give me a chance to... Let me see if I can actually do this correctly. Because how much water do we have? We have a full tank. So we can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That'd eliminate 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then, okay, yeah, that'd be perfect. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna fill up the reservoir completely. If I remember how the piping system works. Yep. Make sure that this is switched over to the correct one. Now this is a puzzle you won't know to do until later on. And you actually kind of need the boiler room to do this, but I'm just setting this up for later so I don't end up have to come back here. Alright. Now, we set this back to neutral, so it's not pulling or pushing. Switch to fountain, have it pull in water from the fountain. I guess we could have skipped that step, but eh. Alright, now that we're fully reset, we switch this to where it's pushing into fountain. Switch it over to reservoir. Now we switch it to where it's pulling from reservoir, and we basically repeat this cycle twice. At least I think it's twice. Yeah, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that'll get us exactly where we need to go. Switch it over to fountain. Push to fountain. Right, and now we can switch over to reservoir and just pull from reservoir, and it should be good. Yeah, so that should be the setup we need. While we're up here, we'll go ahead and grab a basement key, because why not? Ooh, I did not actually want any of these, but we'll grab guest bedroom anyway. Car keys that are now borderline useless because, well, I mean, this would be the only room we could possibly use them in, and we don't have the right doorway. Ah, well. Let's head back the other way. This is a super fucking long path. Why'd I have to drive so many dead ends? Ain't a big deal, just kind of annoying sometimes. Yeah, we're gonna be losing coins every time we hit this path. Oh, drafting studio would be so good. We'll grab utility closet. Just so we can turn off the keycard system and flip those around. We don't need to do anything with the back system anymore. Yeah, the reason why I sounded so pained when I saw the drafting studio is a way to add more rooms to your drafting pool, but it costs a gem to draft. And so it is very annoying in that way. Also, if we have a breaker room, let's just go ahead and do that. Yeah, because now we can turn back on the dark room now that we've been inside it, and we don't have to worry about its negative effect anymore. Plus, now we get a key card. There we go. Yeah, now if I'm not mistaken, yeah, we don't have to worry about the negative effect at all. Sweet. We'll do morning room here so we get some gems. We need more options. Well, immediately we have to draft kitchen here, otherwise day it's basically over. Observatory, because we should get some gems back today, though I could be wrong. No, it's Clavis. That's right. Clavis is an 8-star. Gives us a key, but still that's annoying. Parlor, though, will give us some gems back, as long as we solve the puzzle correctly. This is not an empty box. The gems are in the black box. The empty boxes are both true. Okay, so if this one's true, that would mean that this one's true. This would have to be false. But it could be false, because it'd be referring to itself. Let's go off to the opposite assumption. Let's assume that this one is false, meaning that this is an empty box. That would mean that this one is false, meaning that this would have to be true. But that can't be, so actually, yeah, it wouldn't just be in the black box. That one was confusing. I'm not even entirely sure I got the logic right. I kind of just guessed. We'll do Den here, get another gem. Okay, nah, we won't use the silver key here. We'll just use a standard. Hope for a T-shape? I mean, that works. Let's do passageway, actually. How do we get over to this outer edge? Do spare hole here, because... Hey, sledgehammer. Don't need to buy it anymore. Okay. We have everything we need if we want to make a trip down to the underground. We can get the fucking tease. We can get room 46. Yeah, the reason why I say you fucking tease is because it feels like I always get the trophy room when I do not have the gems to get it. Ordinary key. Alright, that's fine. What else do we got here? We'll do the walk-in closet. Yeah, because that gives us some coins, a key, a gem, and lockpick kit. Always useful. Especially later on when you get the experience that improve your skill at lockpicking. Okay, that's fine. Remember correctly, yeah, we're just gonna use a normal key here. Yeah, we kind of have to do the library here, don't we? Hello, treasure map. So these are kind of rare. Actually, I believe that's one we can get to. Yeah, that's in the secret garden. So yeah, let's head that way. After we, of course, get this. Well. Ain't that some shit. Our day's basically ending real quick. We'll grab a sauna real quick just for sake of having it. We have a key card, so we don't need to worry about doing anything with the doors. Alright, let's head over toward... No, hold on, go back. We need to get the key from below ground first. Alright. Pop this open. So we never needed to do this puzzle again, so I don't know why I was worried about keeping it active. Actually, we don't even need to go this way. We can just head back here, then down here. Yeah, this is what I was talking about with the reservoir being at a certain level. That over there. We won't go into it until later, because there's no reason for us to. Actually, don't I have an upgrade disc? Yeah, I do. Why didn't I do that in security? Ah, well. That drum beat coming every time you go to this like inner sanctum area. I love it. There is also that over there. We need the boiler room before we can do anything with that. But for right now... go ahead and pull that. Because there's some information in room 46 that we're going to need for puzzles coming up. And actually, very specifically, we're going to need it for this room right here. So keep that in mind. Oh. There's so much fucking walking. Need to start doing the outer rooms too, because there's 2 outer rooms I need for the blue flame puzzle, which we are going to have to do eventually. So actually, I think I will take the way out of the basement through the entrance hall, just to save a little bit of time getting back. Yeah, we'll head this way. Because I'm trying to remember the specific rooms you need for it. I believe it's the hovel and the schoolhouse that you need for this part. Yeah, also, fountain should be filled up again. Yep, quite a ways. It's funny, you can see where exactly every water level is. It's actually kind of cool in that way. Okay, we got schoolhouse, so that's part of our problem solved. Yeah, because I do remember this is one of the rooms we need. Yep, here we go. Basically turn off the gas to the heater in the schoolhouse. And now we just need the hovel. And what this opens up is another way into the basement. More specifically, this will open up a way into the far end of the reservoir. Like over where we came in through the tomb. Okay. Where else am I wanting to go today? Trying to remember. Wanted to hit the secret garden on our way over because that will give us a... Yeah, we have the treasure map. So let's head that way first. And then we'll head up toward... We'll get the antechamber, and then we'll see if we can't make our way back to security. So that's a long path. There's a kitchen along the way, so hopefully we can grab it, especially with the money we're going to get from the chest, hopefully. This looks like the spot. Yeah, we just dig in the middle of the path. And that gives us... Da 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 da. Come on. There we go. One of the lost coffers of Mount Holly. Containing 25 coins and 3 gems. So that will give us plenty of cash. Actually, let's go ahead and dig up here, see if we can't get a turnip. Oh, hello, gem. Alright. We got all we need to from here. Let's head up this way. Actually, we can go ahead and check Add gems in here. Alright. First things first, let's grab this real quick. Because now you can actually enter room 46, and there's a reason why we're doing this. The sanctum puzzle. I mentioned it before. This is one of the longest puzzle lines in the entire game, with information spread all throughout. The first key found here on the furthest rank, the second locked tight in the vault of a bank, the third is high up among all the clocks, and the fourth down below beneath all the docks. The fifth key is held by a king on his throne, the sixth in a station left by one of your own. The seventh is major if you draft it quite late, and the last key is waiting behind the last door of 8. These are all referring to different puzzles in the game. Of course, this first one is right here. The sanctum key. These will each open up one of the 8 doors that flank the central lever, the one that opens up room 46. Now there's a bit more information in here. First off, we're going to go ahead and grab this. The crown of the blueprints. The former ruby crown of Arinda Ares recently set with freshly cut sapphires. The first time you draw a red room while drafting, you may remove it from today's draft pool. If you do, gain 1 gem and redraw. So this is basically a way to stop yourself from ever drafting red rooms if you can save it. There's also a little bit more information in here. The secret room is not as secure as you thought. We have your letters, 8 letters, 8 payments, 100 gold, instructions to follow. So that's something to be concerned about, but it's nothing we know about yet. There's a bit more information here, different family sigils, the Sinclair, the Epsons, the Marigolds, and the Jones family crests. But nothing too important at the moment. There's also the time in here. Okay, yeah, this is a real-time clock. But that's about all we can get from in here. Let's head back the other way. Got plenty of money if we can just get to that kitchen. Of course, we could have grabbed that room right there. We have the key card, but I didn't want to risk it not being anything helpful. I don't want to risk losing an upgrade disc that we have. It's better to use it and upgrade our next day than it is to just straight up lose it. I don't think you lose it permanently, granted, but it's just not something I want to try and track down. Yeah, the bedroom gives us the 2 steps. We needed that. Let's get a gem from the warning room here because we drafted the patio. Perfect. Here we go. Chef salad gives us 20 steps. Club sandwich gives another 15. And then we buy out their stock of bananas. Basically just make sure that we have enough steps to do what we need to. Which, to be fair, I don't think we needed to go that far with it, because we just need to go up here, then through, and security should be on the other side of this. Yeah, here we go. So now, insert upgrade disc. Like I said, I'm trying to get the billiard room upgrade. Yeah, storeroom upgrades is pretty good too. This one I usually go for the 2 gems. I think I'll actually go for the 2 keys though this time. The 10 coins one is a crapshoot, honestly. You get enough gold later on, you don't need it. Okay. Anything else? Anything else? I suppose while we're here, let's go back to the basement, and I'll show you guys what a sanctum looks like. Again, technically speaking, I don't think we have the information to solve one yet. I know how to solve each of them, but we don't have the information in game yet to solve them, and I don't want to show the solution to a puzzle without showing the steps to get there. Oh, also, hello. I didn't even see this. That would have been handy. I also kind of wish there was a coat check, but beggars can't be choosers. There is one more thing I'm wanting to check as well once we're done down here, and then we'll call it a day and probably call it for the video, because we've been recording for a while, damn. Through here, and then out and around. There's that drum beat again. I love that. Every time it feels so epic. I will say, by the way, I have had a run, and it was a fucking heartbreaker, where I had enough steps to get down here, pull this lever, and get all the way back to the antechamber. But as I was entering the antechamber, I ran out of steps. So, sanctum keys are interesting. When you use a sanctum key, it permanently unlocks a door in the inner sanctum, and that sanctum key is gone for good. So we're never going to get a sanctum key again for entering room 46, but we also never need to find one again to open this specific door. And within, we have this. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the sanctum wheel puzzle. Every sanctum has one of these in it. There are 8 crests hidden throughout the game that show you exactly what you need for this. Each of these symbols means something different. Like you can see, I can twist this central symbol, or this central wheel. It changes that symbol right there. These mean something. Then you have the pattern of the lines. That can change. You have... There's the other one. You have the type of lines. That changes something. Each of these means something else too. And then you have this outer symbol here, which again, all different ideas. I believe in order, and these all refer to places in the actual world. In order, I believe it is what kind of industry they are, what weather they are, the number of lines indicates their primary method of transportation, and then this outer symbol is the color of their flag. So it is a very complicated puzzle. And like I said, it goes very in-depth. There's like a whole fake history within the game to explain each of these places. I can't solve this puzzle right now with the information that we have. This is something we have to come back to. But keep an eye out, because I will say that one in particular, that one is for, I want to say Arinda Ares. That symbol we do technically have access to. It's just a little difficult to reach, and I didn't make a comment on it before. I didn't want to make a comment on it until we had reached the sanctums. So, like I said, I do know what each of the symbols are. It's just actually getting them down is the problem. Okay, let's head back this way. And I'm wanting to check one more thing before I head out for the day. And that is, did I dig up another secret floor plan? Because there's another secret floor plan out here, and we have already gotten a lot of the information for it. The only pages we're missing, I believe, are in the ballroom. But, there's another secret floor plan hidden in the forest over there by your tent. Which we'll go ahead and grab real quick, just to have it in the draft pool, because it's actually one of the insanely powerful floor plans. Like, if you can, I do recommend getting this floor plan as soon as you possibly can. That is how strong this shit is. But we need to head back here. In the center of white trees, hidden beneath 2 rocks, is the conservatory. What the conservatory does is, first off, the conservatory is a little weird. It can only be drafted in the 4 corners of your house. So that first off is a little odd. But what this allows you to do is every time you draft the observatory, it will pick 3 random floor plans in your draft pool. And will allow you to adjust how often you see those floor plans. You can make some insanely strong houses using just this alone. So we'll go ahead and add that to the draft pool, and then I think we are good to call it a day, and call it a day for the episode. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are slowly but surely making more progress. Thank you all so much for watching this one. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. Go check out some other videos. I have a ton of content on blueprints now, as well as other various puzzle games like Inscription and Inkshade. If you know of any others that you'd like to see me play, please let me know. I'd be more than happy to check them out. I love games like this. But regardless, thank you all so much for watching, and have a good day.